explain to me what it is about these results that are so disappointing when there was so much optimism built in about the high bandwidth memory products. It turns out it's the legacy business and the numbers related to that that is accounting for the big drop today.
Yes, exactly. I think the memory market at the moment is extremely polarized. On one hand of the market, you have AI infrastructure that is consuming as much memory as it can in a very specific, very leading edge form factor, the HBM, the high bandwidth memory you refer to. And that part of the market is doing incredibly well. And data center demand represents more than half the DRAM market today. And growth there is very strong and is only going to strengthen next year. Mm-hmm. On the side of that, you have traditional markets, which are the PC market, the smartphone market, that have gone through a very unusual pattern in which you've had a very, very strong cycle of inventory correction in the last 18 months. We'll even say in the last 24 months. We came out of this inventory correction last summer, but end demand, consumer demand for smartphones and PC, went well below what the market was expecting. Mm-hmm. You remember that smartphone manufacturers, PC manufacturers were like, AI is going to drive a refresh cycle. Mm-hmm. People will want to buy AI PCs. This is not happening. And that's creating a second air pocket in these markets, but it's a short one because a big inventory correction has happened already. And we are going through a second, very, very shallow inventory correction. And in memory, as soon as you have too much chips to sell, your margins are under pressure and you can miss fairly significantly
so Pierre,
this quarter, $1 billion is a lot.
So I know we haven't had the call yet or anything that you've seen, but it seemed like in the last quarter, they felt much more positive about those consumer electronics. Do we believe their forecast that the back half of their fiscal year now will really finally see that turnaround?
Yes, I agree with you. The quarter is very disappointing, the guided quarter they give compared to what they said 3 months ago. So I think management probably was betting on stronger consumer demand, stronger end demand than what we saw. And so the direct read across of that is that consumer demand for PCs and smartphones is probably not improving at all. And on the contrary, it could be still disappointing. Now, there is so much a market like smartphones and PC can come down. We are already 10% below the levels of 2022, which means that we're going to have 1 or 2 quarters of very weak demand in this market, but then inventories will be flushed and things will have to come back to normal. So it's a very temporary weakness, yes.
So is there no hope, Pierre, that we do see maybe the data center business pick up a little slack? I mean, I was going through the numbers on the Bloomberg terminal. This appears to be the first quarter that I can recall where data center revenue actually made up more than 50% of sales. Is that not a silver lining?
This is definitely a silver lining, and we are actually very, very optimistic about that, Romain. Now, in memory, remember that when you manage your fab, you make a decision, and then the lead time for the manufacturing process to go across is 4 to 6 months. So the problem is that today you have too many chips for smartphones and PCs and not enough chips for data centers. And they are very similar chips, but slightly different. And so manufacturers cannot use the extra demand from AI to absorb just now the excess capacity on the smartphone and PC side. It takes 6 months to make these adjustments. So 6 months out, you're 100% right. Next 6 months, we'll have to go through a bit of pain on margins and on volumes because of that.